In this video, we are going to review some of the more advanced search features in the EBSCO database. This is just also a quick reminder that what I'm going to show you is how I search. If you ask 10 different people, even 10 different librarians, how they conduct an advanced database search, you're probably going to get 10 different answers. So please find things that work for you and adapt them to your search strategy and your search process, but don't feel like what I'm showing you is a perfect example. I'm purposely trying to show you some imperfect examples so you know that this is, again, an iterative process that we look to and we make changes based on what we find. So I'm here in an EBSCO database that is called APA Psych Info. In EBSCO, you're always going to be able to know which database you're in because above the search box, it tells you your database. If I click to the advanced search box, I'm going to find these 3 search boxes rather than a single search box. And this is really helpful because this is going to allow me to use my keyword matrix that I have developed as well as my Boolean operators in order to create a relatively sophisticated search. What I like to do is think about each one of these search boxes as standing in for one of the concepts that I have identified from my research question. In this case, I'm going to stick with my sample research question that I've been using about whether or not yoga is a treatment that is effective for anxiety in women when compared to cognitive behavioral therapy. I like to stick with just a few concepts before I get started. I'm not going to try to put in my entire research question in one search because that might be a little bit too limiting. Instead, I'm going to stick to just 2 or maybe 3 concepts and then see where I should go from there. So I am going to think about my first box as being my yoga box. And in my research so far, I have found that one of the reasons yoga might be helpful is because it promotes mindfulness. So I'm going to use yoga and mindfulness as the synonyms or the keywords for this first concept. And I'll type them into my search box. And I'm going to combine them using OR. My next box is going to be the box where I search for anxiety. And I don't actually have any additional terms that I want to use. So I'm going to limit it and just keep it at anxiety. And I could search here, this is a perfectly fine search. But maybe what I want to do is try to think about this third box as being a stand-in for my population. And so I'm specifically interested in whether or not this helps women with anxiety. So I can search for women in this search box. And then if I wanted to, I could be, broader. I could say women or girls or female, because those are all possibly synonyms. But in this case, I just want to keep it really simple. So this is what I'm going to do. But again, think about each one of these boxes as standing in for one of your concepts. You can use OR to combine your synonyms for each concept within a box. And then you'll notice that the AND is already provided for you here. This is a drop-down. I know it's really tempting to change this from AND, but please keep it on AND, and you're going to have a much better search experience. Okay, here we go. So I retrieved 519 results. That's a lot. There's some ways that I could possibly narrow it down. You'll notice here I have my search history showing at the top. It tells me what I searched. Right now it's giving me the search operators. I didn't use very many search options. And then I can click in to view my results if I ever needed to. I'm going to collapse my search history just for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and maybe narrow down to just academic journals, maybe just the most recent research, down to 214. One of the things you might notice is depending on the database you're in, Your limiters over here on the left are going to possibly be called different things, and you're also going to have different options. So in Psych Info, for example, there's a limiter for gender, there's a limiter for age group. These aren't always going to be included in every database you search. So any database you search, always double check your limiters and see what else might be helpful to you. So I could say I'm really just interested in articles that talk about a female population. Okay, so now I'm down to 174 articles. Not too bad. I have the same tools available to me. I can add to my folder. Again, I'm going to want to actually log into my EBSCO account if I want to save those items to my folder long term, beyond just this search experience. If I scroll through, one of the things I'm going to want to pay attention to are the subjects that are being mentioned. These are going to be helpful in a couple different ways. One is that they could just be new keywords. You could be fodder for new keywords that you could try. The other thing you can do is if you click into a result that has a subject term relevant to you. For example, I see there's a subject term yoga. If I click on this, then Psych Info is going to find every piece of information here that has the subject tag of yoga. So basically this means that all of these pieces of information are going to be about yoga in some way. I'm going to show you how this is helpful to me. If I go back to my search history, open it up real quick. Go back to this search I did for yoga or mindfulness and anxiety in women with some different limiters applied. Click view results. And what I noticed is that there are also articles or pieces of information that have a subject heading of anxiety. So again, I can do the same thing. And this is going to find me every piece of information in this database, over 94,000 that have the subject of anxiety, right? So anxiety is going to be included in all of the subjects here. This search just for the subject of anxiety and this one just for yoga are not terribly helpful because I want to make sure that I'm combining those two ideas, right? What I can do in my search history is do just that. So I'm going to go ahead and clear my search. And then I am going to want both the subject of anxiety and the subject of yoga to be applied to any piece of information that I find. So if I click over here on these search boxes, I know I want to include anxiety. I know I want to include yoga as subject terms. And then you can see I have a choice to search with and. So this will tell the database to find pieces of information that include the subject anxiety and the subject yoga. So this is going to be a really specific search. And you'll see it says in my search history now, I have searched for search number 4 and search number 5 together. I'm going to collapse my search history for just a minute so you can see what my results are. So I have 205 pieces of information. I may need to go back over here and apply some additional limiters. So by date, and then academic journals. And then since I'm in Psych Info, I know I have this gender limiter I can use. And now I have, a results list of 41 pieces of information, 41 academic journal articles, right? Because we've used that limiter. So that is a really narrow set of results. I could pretty easily scroll through 41 pieces of information. That's not too bad. You absolutely do not have to get that fancy. If you want to, again, let me show you my search history. If you want to stick to really using Boolean operators, applying your limiters, that is going to get you pretty far in these databases. But I just wanted you to see some different ways that you could even be more precise if you wanted to. There's one other fancy way you can search in EBSCO databases. I'm going to again collapse my search history. And you can actually cross-search multiple EBSCO databases at one time. This is really helpful if you have a topic that you think may appear in different disciplines. So if I click Choose Databases, this is going to list all of the different EBSCO databases that the library has, some of which are going to be really useful, some of which are really not going to be useful. You can see that I have APA Psych Info checked, but if I wanted to search Psych Info at the same time as Academic Search Complete, and maybe I know there's another psychology database called here Psychology and Behavioral Sciences, I can check all of these at the same time. And then I'm going to clear my search, go back to my advanced search, type in my search, yoga or mindfulness, anxiety, women, do my Boolean. And then I can go through and again, do my limiters, academic journals, do my date. And then I have 505 results. I can come up here and see that I am searching Psych Info, Academic Search Complete, and Psychology and Behavioral Sciences collection all at the same time. And then if I scroll down, you'll see it shows me from each database how many pieces of information I'm retrieving. So I can kind of see which databases are being most useful to me. A caveat here is that when you're cross-searching different databases, the limiters may not work the way you expect them to, and also subject searching doesn't work the same way because each database has its own subjects, so you can't really do subject searching in the same way. You can, however, really take advantage of really good Boolean searching and good keyword searching if you think you want to search across multiple databases at the same time. To quickly review some of the things that we've talked about with regards to article searching, specifically in our EBSCO databases, you're probably going to want to start with a keyword search, either a basic search or an advanced search where you can use your Boolean operators. You're going to want to decide how you want to save your results, whether it's using the EBSCO folder, making sure you log in, sending yourselves emails, using the permalink, or noting the citations. You're going to want to look for subjects as you start finding articles that are relevant to you, and you can either search databases and use your search history to search for those subjects, or you can just use the subjects as new keywords and add them to your search matrix. You also can cross-search EBSCO databases if you would like, then this can be particularly helpful if you think your topic might be represented in a lot of different types of databases.